How to overcome frustration of no time, no energy. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy Keels Advisory Services. If you want to learn more about how to make your 99 optional, just go to makeitoptional.com. Once again, that's makeitoptional.com. How to overcome frustration of no time, no energy is a very brief episode that takes me back. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things at work, all the right things at home, and you're still not moving forward. At the end of the day, you feel like you're constantly playing catch up and you are exhausted, usually more mentally than physically. I've been there, done that, working with clients, especially that are in the corporate space, executives, enterprise software, and other industries, but that's the primary one. And this is something that I recognize over and over and over, like working with clients on this. I'm chatting with people in the DMs on LinkedIn a lot about this and this whole thing of, like, I call it your brain is on fire, because you wake up first thing in the morning, you're thinking about work, you're thinking about all the things you want to be able to do with the family, you're going to bed at night thinking about your task list for the next day, and it's just, you feel like you can't catch up. Well, I'm going to, in a very few minutes, I'm going to share a little bit of my story, and I'm also going to give you some very clear tips on what you can do so that you can overcome this frustration of feeling like you have no time, feeling like you have no more energy. Well, I'm definitely feeling the no energy thing because I've been there, done that. And that's why we got to pick this up. So I'm going to just tell about my own story, because even though I'm working with clients that are going through the same thing, I remember that there was a moment in my life where I was really, really pushing for promotion. I mean, that's the thing that was the bill of goods that I bought into. Like, so much of my identity was wrapped up in what I was doing at corporate, and especially before my kids arrived. Like, when my kids arrived, things started to change. I started seeing things differently. I started feeling things differently. But up until then, like, I wanted to be the most promotable person. I said yes to everything. I was doing well at work. I was doing well at home. I was the guy who was like, when they said, "Hey, do you want to do this like special project? So you're going to be working with high upper level executives. It's going to give you some exposure." Like, if I could throw like 3 hands up in the air, I would have thrown 3 hands up in the air. Right. And so I was that guy. Like, that was just me, because I knew that the more rooms that I was in, the more people that I met, and if I could show what I was capable of, that it was really going to increase my chances of being promotable. And that promotion meant more money, meant bigger car, meant bigger teams, meant more influence, all that kind of stuff. Because that was the thing. I just wanted to be able to improve my promotability. And at the same time, like, as I started doing more and life started changing, and I like got married and had kids and all of the things that I thought were the most important things, I started getting this internal conflict in my body. Like, I want to be one place, but I can't be there. And so I want to be in the other place, but I can't be here because I made these commitments. And what that did is it made my brain constantly think I should be in one place and I'm in another. And so it, like, constantly being on 24/7 and not having a moment to break mentally, it just drove me to no energy. And then because I was trying to be everywhere all the time, well, of course, you only have 24 hours in a day. It's a fixed period, Billy, hello. And like, I just was constantly trying to be in all different places. So I felt like I was always running out of time. I can't remember the name of that Justin Timberlake movie where he's in time, and it was like you pay everything in time. Anyway, I won't digress, but I started feeling like the story of my life. But here's the thing. So when I started recognizing that I was constantly responding to everybody, the special committees, my boss, my direct reports, 2 levels above, then wanting to work in another geography. So building relationships with people that were in the company that were in other regions, and thinking about the future, working to be more strategic. I wanted to be and became the go-to guy. And the reason that I became that person was because that was the way that I felt like I could prove my worth. That was the best way to prove my worth, not thinking about what it was doing to me mentally, physically, and also relationships in my life, right? Because when you have no time and you have no energy, well, you basically have no life, but you don't recognize that it's happening because you're chasing something else. And I wanted to be able to, improve my condition, because I knew when I improved my condition that it would be best for my family. Be able to improve our life condition, our living condition, our the benefits, the things that we wanted to be able to do, the experiences that we wanted to have. I knew that by being able to do more work, that would be able to put us in the best possible position, not recognizing that I was burning the candle at both ends for such a long time and like working, thinking about that kind of stuff 25/7. That means 25 hours a day, which doesn't exist, 7 days a week, which does, would just put you in a really challenging position. And so what I started realizing is the people that I was around, and I'm talking like putting it from the work perspective, like the ones that seem to have the highest quality of life, they really did something different than I did. And so I started recognizing like, okay, well, what is it that they're doing? And I started asking a couple of people like, look, you really seem to have this together. Like at the office, you're doing this. Outside, you say that you're hanging out with your family, you're going on your boats, you're taking these trips, and it seems really pretty amazing. And so what I took away from not all of the conversations, because some of the stuff I was like, man, that doesn't fit with me. I don't feel comfortable doing that or saying that. But what I did do, because I like to plan, and I finally started to realize, I was like, oh my gosh, like this stuff I can do. What do I mean by this stuff? So this is the part where I really want you to pay attention, because this is the part where you're going to be able to overcome the frustration of having no time and no energy. And you know why? Because the answer as to how you can start to overcome the frustration of having no time and no energy, all you have to do is do what I did. It's look at the person in the mirror. Like for me, look at the man in the mirror. That's what you have to do. And then after you look at yourself in the mirror, and this is going to probably make you feel uncomfortable because it took me a long time to start to feel comfortable with this. And if I'm telling you every single thing, there's still moments that I don't like to prioritize myself, but you must absolutely, if you want to get rid of the frustration of having no time and no energy, listen to me. Take copious notes. This is the part that you really need to write down. I'm going to make it super simple, but first, look at yourself in the mirror. Make yourself the priority, right? You have to start to put yourself first. And then afterwards, and this is where it got real uncomfortable for me. So I'm just going to give you a warning in the beginning. You must set and protect your own personal boundaries. And that is going to mean that you have to learn to say no. Don't do like I did earlier in my career and say yes to everything. And there's some sophistication. I mean, I'm saying say no, but you learn how to say no so that you don't take on everybody else's responsibility. Because when you attempt to be the reliable one, the nice person, the one who wants to help get things done because you've always done it, you say yes way too much, and you need to learn how to say no. And you do that when you set your boundaries and you protect your boundaries. That new project that comes in, if it doesn't fit on the thing that moves the big boulders, and I talked about moving the big boulders in episode 534, episode 534. If you didn't listen to it, go take a listen to it. But what are your priority items? Because those are the big boulders. Those are the things that are going to help your nervous system to not be so high. It's going to help to give you some relaxation, and also know that you're working on the items that give you the highest leverage. So stop reacting when everybody else comes with that special request, with that next new growth opportunity. If it doesn't fit into your priority or priorities, say no. Find the right way. If you need some help finding the way to say it, connect with me on LinkedIn. It's super easy. Just drop me a DM and you and I can have the conversation, right? Because once I started doing that, looked at myself in the mirror, started to set my priorities, began to set and protect the boundaries. It means set the boundaries, but you also have to protect it. It means like if you say you're not going to do it, then don't do it. That's it. Because what I started realizing is that I became a much more influential leader at work and at home when the responses were quality over quantity. You select which ones and you give a high quality response versus trying to just half-ass and give the same thing to every single person, blah, 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 as fast as possible, right? I'm passionate about it. I even got a little swear word in there. I'm real passionate about this one in particular. Because if not, you're just going to be walked all over. Yeah, you may be moving up the org chart, but you're a yes person. Nobody wants that at the end of the day because you're there to make an impact. You're there to make a difference. So the quality of the response over the quantity of responses. And so, yeah, I went through it. Like as you make this move, this transformation, you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're doing things new, right? And so it's not that you don't like it. It's you're uncomfortable with the feeling. So push through that. It's okay. It's like learning a new language. I wasn't fluent in Spanish and French and Catalan and Italian because I'm not a native speaker, but I learned it by making a bunch of mistakes and feeling uncomfortable. I learned how to do it too at the office. Set your look at yourself in the mirror, set your priorities, set your boundaries, protect your boundaries, and then go out and focus on the quality of response over the quantity. It didn't happen overnight for me. And there are still moments where I am tested, but I know I've got a process to follow. And this process helps me to overcome frustration of no time and no energy. Guess what? I got a lot more energy than I used to. And the time, let's just say I'm the person who owns my 24 hours, right? I'm the person that makes the decisions on the 24 hours. Do I want to fly for a 30-hour trip like I did not long ago? Well, because I can. Why? Because I'm intentional about the relationships that I invest in. It's something that's important to me. It gives me energy. So I leverage the time that I have. That time is the most important asset that I have, that I am able to manage. So what I also realized is like it's a process. But most importantly, if I think about where I was in the corporate world, like following this process and really getting clear on the priorities, looking myself in the mirror and saying, I want more time or I want more energy. And so I'm going to better leverage my time. And I applied that first at the 9 to 5. And I was able to reclaim time. There were pockets of time where I was just doing other priorities for other people. It didn't make any sense for me to do that. So guess what I did? Cut those out. Bye. No, thank you. Reclaim more of my time. And you can do it too, by the way, because if you're sitting here and you're in a corporate and you're on these recurring meetings, that's one of the easiest ways to get back some more of your time. I started blocking my time, and I've talked about that before. And then you know what? I respected myself first. And that is even when you are a high achiever, you put yourself last, you constantly do it. Stop doing it. You're not a selfish person, but just put yourself first. Because when you're the best version of you, everybody else gets the best version of you. They don't get the version of you that has no time, that has no energy, that feels like you're constantly playing catch up. That's not the person that you want to be. So stop. And you're going to show up better for everyone, including yourself. And when you do that, you can absolutely overcome the frustration for no time, no energy, because these are the things that you're going to say. All right, look, I have the same 24 hours as everybody else does. I'm going to focus them on my priorities. And because you're not a selfish person, there's usually a lot of other people that are going to benefit. And as a result, you're leveraging your time and you're getting back your energy. Doesn't that sound great? Just by following that simple process. And listen, if this is not you and it's somebody that you see somebody that's suffering from this, they're having challenges, they're frustrated constantly because they're always playing catch up, they feel like they don't have any energy and they're constantly just zonked. Share this episode with them. Help them. They're going to go through a process that's going to help them reclaim their energy and better to utilize their time. And while you're doing that, guess where I'll be? I'll be right here. I really love doing these podcasts, and I'll be preparing the next episode. So until then, go out and make it a great day. And thank you very, very much. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy Keels Advisory Services. If you want to learn more about how to make your 99 optional, just go to makeitoptional.com. Once again, that's makeitoptional.com.